Vladimir Putin's war against Ukraine entering a new phase. Russia Defense Ministry setting a deadline for Ukrainian troops to surrender Mariupol and its steel plant there, or face death, they say. But Ukrainian President Zelensky said last night, quote, "We will not give up anything Ukrainian." Joining me now for more on the war and other news, retired U.S. Air Force Special Operations Commander and Defense Intelligence Technology Innovator, Major Glenn Ignacio. Hey, sir, it's great to see you again. Thank you for being here and the service to the country. Let's talk about Putin's war. How do you see it? Who has the upper hand thus far?
I mean, if you look at it, it's been very balanced from the amount of forces that Russia has in Ukraine's been able to hold off. But, you know, this is a whole change here, especially with that general that's come out of Syria. And they've really regrouped and they've recovered. And I think you're looking at a very organized front now compared to before. And it's almost going to be like a tank war that we've seen in World War II. And there's a lot of forces massing to take over the Donetsk area. And I'd really be concerned, again, about Odessa being closed and literally making Ukraine a landlocked state soon.
All right. Well, meanwhile, I'm going to put a couple of questions up here and a couple of things for you to look at here, Major. The Media Research Center analyzed all broadcasts allegedly dedicated to news on ABC, CBS, and NBC since the news of Hunter Biden's laptop first broke on October 14th, 2020, until yesterday. These networks spent a total of 25 minutes and 6 seconds. Now, despite the corruption of the mainstream press, the people are actually getting the message here. Here's something else I want you to see. Close to 64% of Americans surveyed in a new Trafalgar poll say it's likely that Biden is compromised by communist China. Unlike charges against President Trump, there's actual evidence that accusations against Mr. Biden and his family are true, right?
Yeah, I agree. And the interesting part is, look, we have this conflict in Ukraine, and the Burisma issue was where this all started with Biden. And at the same time, we also have China being a great concern about things going on in Taiwan and the close relationship between China and Russia. It's really interesting how we have these world situations and crises going on, and they seem to be tied and definitely sort of corrupted in their approach with these relationships that they have.
Right. Several publications, including the Daily UK Mail, or the UK Daily Mail, they're reporting the following. I'm going to put it up on the screen so folks can see this. Gloria Romero, a former Democrat leader of the California State Senate, is writing, quote, "There's nothing Democrats can do to stop Latinos from abandoning Biden in droves when he and his party chose socialism and wokeism over the American dream. They lost us." And Major, I don't know if you've seen some recent polling. I can't remember which polling service it was. Only 26% of Hispanics in the United States say they support Joe Biden. Do you think it's true? Joe Biden has lost Latinos?
I think so. I think it's definitely a slip as far as the people, you know, the Latinos within the United States and the citizens. I mean, there's nothing worse than people taking the path of citizenship and everything that they go through for, you know, being Latino in the United States, and then seeing a lot of people come over the border and being given all these rights when they've worked so hard to get their citizenship in the United States. Being from California, living there for many years, you know, the influence and watching things change in California and people's lifestyles really crash based on the democratic rule of California and, of course, of the president, is this: the quality of life has dropped so significantly. So a lot of the Latino Americans in the services industry in California are struggling and are being crushed by working 3+ jobs. So they realize that they're being left behind. And as long as they're willing to have their open mind and see the real facts of what's happening and not play into media marketing, I think he's really losing a significant percentage.
Yeah, Hispanics are not as stupid as the biased press and the left wing in this country thinks we are. Retired Major Glenn Ignacio, thank you, sir, for your service to this country, and thanks for being here as always.